Okay, guys, welcome back. Okay, so what I'm going to be speaking on right now, it's not usually talked about. It's not usually spoken of for the fact that it's still an active scam. It's still uh, it's very successful. The percentage of extortions being paid, actual people falling for these actual scams. And the reason people don't really cover it because, like I said, they're still conducted. These actual individuals from prison, they have long arms that can get to people. And I'm going to tell you guys something right now. Um, Anybody can be talked into actually paying this money, this actual ransom, this actual extortion. I'm telling you, anybody. Don't ever say they will never be you because of the fact that even the most streetwise, level-headed people fall for these actual traps, especially when they're involving a loved one. Okay, a San Pedro man was extradited to face charges of making virtual kidnappings, virtual extortion calls while in prison for murder in Mexico, in an actual prison in Mexico. Apparently, he was extradited from Mexico to Los Angeles to face federal charges that he perpetrated a virtual kidnapping scam where at least 30 victims in Southern California and elsewhere were duped via telephone into paying thousands of dollars in ransom for to free their family members who in reality had never been kidnapped at all. This individual is a gang member from actual San Pedro. He's a 48-year-old. His moniker is Muñeco, a reputed gang member from Rancho San Pedro street gang who had been in prison in Mexico since 1996 for two murder convictions, was taken into custody by U.S. Marshals Services. He finished serving his actual prison sentence in Mexico last year and has been held since for extradition on this case. So he's expected to actually be arraigned this week, sometime this week. A federal grand jury in September 2019 returned a 31 indictment against this individual. He is charged with one count of conspiracy to commit extortion, 27 counts of extortion, two counts of foreign communication of threats with intent to extort money, and one count of conspiracy to launder monetary and monetary instruments, wire fraud, basically what is it called, MoneyGram or actually Western Union. So virtual kidnappings happens when an unsuspected victim is told via telephone that his or her family member has been kidnapped. When the victim answers the phone, there is typically a panic or gasping voice on the phone pleading for help. Then through additional deceptions and threats, the criminals coerce the actual victim to pay the ransom. The criminal also threatens harm to the purported kidnapped victim if the scam victim contacts a law enforcement or alerts authorities. No one is physically kidnapped in these actual schemes, but they are often traumatic for everyone involved. On average, the actual family sends thousands of dollars to the scammers before contacting law enforcement. The indictment alleges that from September 2015 to June 2018, while he was serving a murder conviction in a prison outside of Mexico City, he and other acting at his direction falsely represented to victims on the phone that they had kidnapped the victim's child or loved one and planned to harm them unless the ransom was paid for their release. In reality, there was no kidnapping had ever taken place. So Muñeco and others working at his direction allegedly then demanded ransom payments in the form of wire transfers, cash drops, allocations, or other purchases of electronics such as iPhones or iPads. Once the funds were wired to or delivered, individuals in Mexico delivered the actual proceeds to the imprisoned actual individual. And these kind of schemes, they usually take place in the actual prison with smuggled cell phones uh, that are taken in by most likely the guards are actually visitors, visitors. But this is actual it's ongoing scheme. It's rarely talked about just for the fact that people can get hurt. They can actually get to people and hurt them if they actually report on these actual crimes. But I mean, it's it's actually rare that they actually pinpoint this actual individual and they actually extradited him to face charges over here. Okay, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe.